N4XAT.
CQ, this is Zero AUG, calling all members and friends of Pennine Ham for the regular Thursday evening digital night. People here seem to have a few on this thing. I think some people are connected all the time, analysts, and see who's actually joining us online this evening. So, over to you, Jim, G4JB and the group. Are you coming online or going on YouTube, Jim? Over to you. I think I heard from Jim, so I'll take it at the moment. He's going on YouTube. Coming down to Marek now. M7 Essence says Y in the group. M0 AUG. Good evening, Marek. Nothing else from Marek. And we've got the GB7HX repeater connected at the moment. So if anybody's listening through GB7HX and wants to join the net, please come in now. M0 AUG. Good. G8JJJ in the group. M0 AUG. Good evening, Lou.
M0 AUG and the group G8JJ. It's a very good evening to everyone. The weather in Nottingham has been wall-to-wall sun. Today has been absolutely glorious, and most of the week has been very good. Been doing a lot of gardening, as one would expect, and the bulbs are coming out really nicely. It's been a very nice week, and the conditions on the radio have been good too, so that has also been a plus. I was very impressed with Brianna's tweet she did on Facebook, on the Pennine Ham Facebook pages, and it was very, well, it was exceptional. Well done. Anyway, back to you, Jeff, and we'll have a little bit more to say on the next over. M0 AUG and the group GAKJJ.
GAKJJ and the group M0 AUG. Yes, that's fine on that too. And yeah, it's been a lovely day up here on the Fylde coast as well. Beautiful sunset to top it off in the evening there. So I don't think the weather forecast is too good for a weekend, but we'll see where we go from there. Over to our friends in Northern Sydney now with Mike and Adriana. DL1BJW with DL8BDT. Good evening to you both. M0 AUG. Over to you, Mike, please. There's only one Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Very good evening to all. And we are glad to be here again and to have the possibility to take part in the meeting. The WX on all sides, it's also very good. It has been a very blue sky, mainly without any clouds in the last few days, but the temperature was not so extremely high. Today, the daylight temperature rose to 17 degrees centigrade. Believe it or not, HR. The temperature at night was still very low. I think it was about 2 degrees plus in the morning, then rising rapidly, and We are looking forward to this weekend's weather, which should be also very fine. But at the beginning of the next week, the WX forecast tells us that temperatures will go down again. So let's make the most of the next few days and the weekend, and we try to do exactly that. So that's all from my side for this first over, and I'm passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Very good evening to all of you. And yes, thank you for the comment about this, about my video. Yes, the weather, as Mike said, was quite amazing, and therefore we took the chance to change our antennas. We had problems with the Ribacov antenna because the fixed point of the antenna was shaking, and we thought we try to put up another end-fed half wave, which we can feed from our living room, and this is the setup. We had an end-fed half wave for 20 and for 40 meters, which we set up as a sloper from the first floor. And so it's the first one is horizontal, has been horizontal polarized, and this is a sloper formation. And we made some tests for the antenna, and one of the tests was the one of my tests with a true SPX, and the setup for FT8 using the connector from Kilo 6 Alpha Romeo Kilo, and my handheld, my cell phone. And yes, it was quite amazing. With only 3 watts, I had been heard even in Alaska, and I made a contact to the US, and which was very astonishing. I had been heard in VK, and I never have been heard there. So this was quite amazing. And yes, let's look where we go from there. So I hand the microphone back to M0 AUG for the group.
TLAPGT with DL1 BJW in the group. Thanks for your contributions there. I'm not on the Facebook group, so I don't know what your results were on that, but it sounds very, very impressive there, Adriana. And thank you for the update on that one. Some moving around on the list here, so we'll go down to my bed there with Andrew. M0R11 group. M0AG. Good evening, Andrew.
M0AG in the group. This is M0. Good evening, Jeff, and good evening everyone else for me next night. And yes, what a change in the weather. Down here in sunny Minehead, it's been 20 degrees today. Absolutely lovely day. Sea almost looked blue as well because the wind had dropped and the sea was quite calm. So yes, it's what a change. But tomorrow rain's coming through, but for once I don't really mind. I put in the first early crop potatoes today, so I didn't water them in, so they're going to good watering hopefully tomorrow when the rain comes through. So yes, it was looking good today. So I'll keep this one short, so long because I think you've got probably quite a few on tonight, Jeff. So microphone back to you. There's M0ROX, back to M0AUG in the group.
M0AUG. Yes, thanks very much for that, Andrew. I've just had a call, an email in from Dave. He's having problems trying to transmit, so I don't know what it is, but he's trying to sort it out. I think you've had the same email on that, Andrew. Right, over to you, Nick. G4IWO in the group. M0AG. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Jeff, and good evening, everybody else. This is G4IWO, returning to M0AUG. Yeah, good evening, and good to hear Lou and Mike and Adriana tonight, and others, of course, a bit later. Just a couple of quick things, and I'll say more about them later. I had a very good discussion yesterday with Hiroki, Alpha Hotel 6 Charlie Yankee, who's coming to give the talk next week about a four-band portable Delta Loop antenna that he's built and used for QRP operations. And I know that he's got various other things that he wants to talk about. One of the things he wants to talk about, and I'm just going to do a quick poll amongst people here tonight to see whether people believe it would be a good idea. I've long wanted to find a Japanese radio amateur to come and give a talk to the club, but I'm obviously well aware that the time zone difference makes it rather difficult to get them to come. And what I'd like to hear about really is amateur radio in Japan, what it's like, what clubs are like, what radio amateurs are doing, and so on. It's an area that we don't read much about, and I think we'll be very interested in. Hiroki promised to put me in contact with some people who he obviously knows very well in Japan, where he comes from originally, who would be prepared to come and give the talk. And I was kind of dabbling with the concept of doing a special, if we can get someone from Japan, doing a special morning meeting on a Saturday, perhaps, fairly early in the morning. I mean, we could do it during the week if there was demand for it, to get someone to come and talk to us. So anyway, just a thought. So I'm just going to chuck that out into the ether here and get people's comments, and I'll give some reports and other things later on. Back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group, G4IWO.
Group M0AUG, yes, that'll be an interesting one. I've no connections in that direction to help personally, but it would be an interesting one to find out what goes on over there. Certainly would. First, the amateur radio will have the receivers from the major companies in there, and transfer use everything. A big population, I believe, over there, but we don't know what nets go on, clubs and things. Interesting topic there, Nick. Yeah. Over to Denmark now. Over to you, Fraser. Oscar Zulu 1, Juliet, Kilo uniform in the group. M0AG. Good evening, Fraser.
Yeah, good evening to the group, and thanks indeed for running it, Jeff, as usual. WX here has been more or less the same as the German counterparts, and Leander and Jeff down there, Mike down there. And we got up to 14 degrees on my thermometer today. I haven't got very much radio to talk about because I've been erecting a greenhouse, a sort of orangerie type one with sort of a short letter T. That's been proving to be a bit difficult, but anyway, finally done it. Doors are on now and it's all sound. So hopefully it stays up. We'll see. Think with Andrea on the results that you got, well, very low power, but the new antenna is obviously working very well. And the hand sounds really interesting as well. So it'd be good if that could be organized. Anyway, back to you, Jeff, M0AUG, OZ1JKU. Nothing much to say.
OZ1JKU, group M0AUG. No fun in that, and so it's being part of the group and not necessarily having an awful lot to say, but people bring things along as they come along there, Fraser. So thank you for joining us, please, and please continue to do that. Over to the US now, and over to Bob in New Jersey. November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango in the group. M0AUG. Good evening, Bob.
M0AUG was group November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango. Is my okay going out? Coming in, it's very poor.
No, the audio is fine with me there, Bob. Back to you.
Thank you for that. For some reason, I have my gain up all the way, and I can barely hear you, fellas. I don't have my hearing aids in, but that is it. problem today. I've had a bad radio week as far as accessories go. We had several windstorms recently that blew down my antenna, my vertical blew down completely. Matter of fact, I still am working, trying to get everything set up again there. And the mag loop, which I normally use, blew that over. So we did have some heavy winds this week. And now it looks like I'm having problems with my radio again. I think that the poltergeist has arrived. I'm not sure, but I think that that's what happened. I've done a bit of POTA, but not a lot. But we'll get to that on my next go around at any rate. Other than that, I haven't done much EX at all. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG with your group, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango.
Alpha Tango in the group, M0AG here returning. Sorry to hear about the problems with the antennas and the wind and everything, Rob. Your transmission over to us this evening was absolutely fine. So if you've had whatever problems on the radio as well, you seem to have sorted those out as well. So thanks again for joining us. Over to Belgium now and see where our friend Jeff's up to. Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group, M0AG. Good evening, Jeff.
Good evening, Jeff, and good evening or good day to everyone on the net, and also to the people on YouTube. Nice to catch up again this evening. We have today 17 degrees, sunshine, a little bit like in Germany and Denmark, I think. We will have tomorrow more than 20 degrees, so that's nice. We will have a day out, some touring and some touristic things. So that's very good. Over the weekend, I participated in the BARTG Ricky contest. I worked 126 stations in the QRP class, and I think my nicest one was Victor 55 Yankee in Namibia. I really like that. There were some African stations actually. I worked some other in Gabon and things like that, so that's nice. And Tuesday morning, I waked up very early, so I was on the radio quite early, and I managed to work the Zulu Lima 3 Hotel Alpha Mike on 20 meters FT8, and then VK7 Alpha Charlie in Tasmania on FT4. So that was a good morning. Really happy. Normally I'm not up that early, but anyway, I missed a lot. I missed a lot by not being up that early, I think. Congrats to you, Adriana, on your QRP adventures there. Very, very impressive, I think. And Nick, yeah, I agree. JA would be very, very interesting. I don't have any people that I know there, but anyway, I would be very interested, and I have no problem to maybe wake up early to assist that, or in the morning hours or whatever. I mean, that's no problem. We can arrange for that. And sorry to hear, Bob, about your storms and the damage you had there on your antenna system. That's not so good. So maybe some more ham radio adventures in the next over. I put it back to you, Mike 080, the group of an 8 November Tango.
You're doing your smile all, Jeff, and I've been seeing snippets about what you've been up to on the WhatsApp group as well. So yeah, you're doing well with your contacts and things, and getting up early in the morning obviously did you some good. Whether you think that now or not, I don't know, but there you go. Right, back over to this side now, and M0PBF in the group. Good evening, Peter. M0AG.
M0AUG, M0PBF. Well, a bit of difficulty getting up this evening. I think they've done not good on Blue DV. It was giving me all sorts of curious messages. So I went right back to the beginning and reloaded the program itself. And eventually got it working. So it was a little bit of a struggle at first. There we go. And Well, the weather here in beautiful uptown Stalybridge is 17.4 was the high this afternoon. It was a beautiful afternoon. That because of the location of our house here, we've got a very sheltered patio, and it actually with the sun it felt almost like midsummer. And it's currently 12.7, so it's going to be quite warm. There we are. So I'll go back to you, Jeff. On M0AUG, M0PBF. Sorry about that. M0PBF and the group M0AUG returning. Yeah, fine, that later. I knew something was going on because I saw initially you came on the module A, which is why I just dropped you an email just to say module D. But you're with us now, so that's absolutely fine. Okay, up to the borders now, and I see how Keith's doing. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AG. Good evening, Keith. M0AEG in the group, GM4JKZ. Yes, good evening, Jeff, one and all. And a bit late on parade tonight, but busy doing other things. Temperature-wise, yeah, very nice up here as well. Washed both the cars this afternoon, wearing a t-shirt. So that's a first for the year. So temperatures were very good, and solar panels charged the house battery beautifully. So cost of electricity has gone rapidly down today, which is good news for me anyway. Radio-wise, I didn't operate in the Bartag at the weekend. Mainly Saturday I wasn't around, and Sunday I've still got this intermittent with feed into the audio off of the Rig Blaster Pro, and because I've got it all wired into the bench now, probably take me about half an hour at least to get it all unwired to do some changes. I thought, well, I'll give it a miss this year, and I'll look forward to the next one. So an update on the 3000. It was down in the Emporium down south. It's now over in Fareham with Yasu. The feedback from the Emporium south was that it's a strange one that no one's ever come across, and there's no information on the full condition on the panel that I've got, on the radio rather. So I'm just gritting my teeth and waiting for the bill when it finally comes back. But in the meantime, I've been playing with the menus on the 897, and amongst other things, I've found the self-TCW section, and also this week I've been, and Jim has as well, I think, although he won't be on tonight, looking at the Long Island CW videos, which I think are very interesting indeed. Certainly a slightly different way of learning the letters than the standard Koch process. So that's roughly what I've been doing this week. So let's put it back to you, Jeff, M0AG from GM4JKZ.
GM4JKZ in the group M0AG turning, yeah. Finding that and finding all the information there, Keith. And yeah. I've never done with the Bartag at all, so I'm not into that. Yeah, the 897, the 897 is an absolutely brilliant radio, and I think I might have mentioned previously that I sold mine to a neighbour on the park where we are, and he still uses it every day, mainly for FT8, FT4, I believe. So yeah, they're a lovely radio, very robust, and they're still holding the price very well. Sorry to hear that the other one's gone back to TSU there, but I'm sure he gets it sorted one way or another. So let's see if Dave's managed to sort his problems out down there. So we'll get over to Taunton, G6 ZSM in the group M0AG. Nothing heard from Dave there. Are you joining us this evening, Dave? M0AG. goes from this time round, and we'll go over to Ireland now and call our friend over there, Mike. EI6JMB in the group, M0AG, good evening.
EI6JM.
Hello.
EI6JMB.
EI6JMB, are you joining the net this evening, Mike, M0AG?
I'm not trying to. I was only testing to see was my radio working.
Okay, if you're only testing, then I'll you carry on listening in, and I won't call you in next time round. But thanks for signing on to the net this evening. So right, back up to the top of the list again now. G8KJJ in the group, M0AG, over to you, Lou.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Things have been very good this last week. I managed to work on Monday, China, Japan, USA, VK, ZL, and a lot of stations between them, and that was good. That was all on FT8, and on Tuesday was good too. So some of the time it was up and down, but managed to work quite a number of stations into the Caribbean, Central America, and the USA, of course, VK. That was on Tuesday. I did try SSB, and that was mostly European. There was a Jamaican station. I think it was an activation, and I did try that, but of course the big hitters were dominating as they do. I don't know what sort of wattage they were using, but I suspect very, very high power. And the rest of the time during the week, I've been spending on the SDI console and getting to grips with that software. It's very nice. It works extremely well, and I can use that with FT8 as well. So that's good. I've also been on FT4, of course, because that's something I'm trying out. I'd be very interested, Mick, on the idea for the radio amateurs in Japan. That sounds interesting. I've got an interesting point to look into. In fact, I can seem to be able to work into Japan without too much difficulty, even on reasonably poor condition, or not poor conditions, but flat conditions. I would imagine it's probably due to the fact that the Japanese stations have excellent antennas and fantastic equipment. But it would be interesting to see what they have got, and that would interest me a lot, Mick. So that's everything from me. It's up to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group, G8KJJ.
G8KJJ in the group, M0AUG. Yes, thanks for that. And whilst we were talking, I just noticed that calling on the call sign is obviously off the node there. So M0OGR in the group, M0AG, good evening, Owen. M0AG in the group, M0OGR, can you hear me all right? Just could you repeat it? Yes, you're okay there, Owen. The audio is a little bit low, but perfectly readable, thanks to you. M0OGR, M0AG. Again, I'll see it down in Tom's. Is able to get with us. G607 in the group, M0AUG. Nothing out from Dave, so we'll resume on the top of the list for Strong to Lou, and back over to Nolan Jonah now. DL1BJW with DL8BT in the group, M0AG, over to you, Mike. Please.
1 1 BJW, 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 1 1 B
K1BJW. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was radio-wise. It was a very interesting week, but my results were a little bit poor. I even to get up very early and tried some contacts into VK and ZL and SSB and CW, but in vain. It didn't get me any positive results. So lots of other stations with better antennas and more power, and no possibility for me to get through. But I don't give up. My time will come, HI. But apart from that, I was searching for 6Y7EI from Jamaica, the expedition, I think, on FT8, and I finally worked him in 15 meters on FT8. That was okay. And I had a very curious thing which happened. I was in the evening. I was looking into the 30-meter band, so into CW, and I couldn't hear much. But there was one station which I could receive, and which became stronger and weaker all the time. But I could decipher it, and it was Alpha 65 Delta from Sharjah, which is near Dubai. And he was working quota, and we had a contact. I'm very glad about that. It was really fun to work him, imagining him sitting there in the desert, presumably, and doing CW at night. That was very interesting. So, so far from my side, passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Definitely my 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Yes, first of all, Bob, very sorry for your antenna situation. I hope that the problem can be fixed soon. And Keith, I heard that you will try to polish up your CW. I did so several years ago during the lockdown with a YouTube videos, Lockdown Morse, called Lockdown Morse, and I've looked it up. It can still be seen on YouTube, and there are 28 videos, and I think it's quite to polish up the hearing of the decipher of the Morse code. But I have to admit that I, on my side, still have some difficulties in decipher when I'm too much nervous and happy that I've got a contact, and I'm very glad to hear someone, and through the joy I sometimes fail to decipher the Morse code, so I'll have to brush it up too. And yes, Lou, congrats to your successes there up to the BK, and this is always a pleasure to be able to have contact all over the world. This is what our hobby is all about. So I have nothing more to report from here, so I hand the microphone back to M0AUG for the group.
See with the L1BJW in the group. M0AUG. Yes, I am not thank you. Also, I mustn't forget that Rachel, our club secretary, is very, very much involved with the Long Island CW group. And, I think Rachel would always be in a position to advise anybody if anybody wanted more information on that particular group. I think she found it very, very useful. Over to you there, Andrew. M0 in the group, M0AUG. M0AUG in the group M0ROL. Well, I suppose radio-wise, the highlight of this week is that I received my new QCX Mini from Hans. I think I mentioned a few weeks back that Hans had agreed to send me a new 20-meter QCX Mini because the one I've got, every time you key up, you get a really loud clicking noise, which means you can't wear headphones, and it's just so distracting. So this new one arrived, absolutely perfect. The only thing that's not perfect is my brass, the CW. So I now going to start to on a learning curve yet again, and probably like Adriana, I've made a few contacts, and then panic sets in when they respond, and I can find out what signal report they're giving me, and I quickly sort of close down the contact. So I do need to improve, and I did start with Long Island CW Club, and actually paid for live membership. So I think I ought to go back and try again and see whether I can improve the CW. But certainly more than pleased with not only the service I got from Hans, sending me this unit, but also now this unit works perfectly. I can put together this very lightweight kit that I was planning to do, take it on the hills and see if I can get a contact, and if I do get a contact, I actually understand what they're saying. So that's my next plan of action. So back to you, Jeff. M0AUG, the group M0ROL. M0ROL in the group M0AUG. Yeah, that's quite creditable there, Keith, and well done on getting the replacement unit from Hans. It would have been disappointing if you hadn't been able to exchange, I'm sure. And I hope it allows you to progress along that route. I've tried with the CW many times over the years, but I think I'm not past the stage of wanting to take it any further. So that's where my stance is at the moment. Over to you then, Nick, G4IWO. You're a Wolfsman, I know that. M0AUG.
M0AUG from G4IWO. Yes, Morse is my thing. Looking at my log, Jeff, over the times I've had an electronic log, 97% of my QSOs have been on CW. But I do come up on sideband, and I'd like to just say I think the last few days have been exceptionally good on the higher frequencies, 20 meters upwards. Like Mike, I managed to get a contact on CW on 10 meters with the EIDX group operating out in Jamaica, 6x7 EI, but also worked at Argentina, Japan, Indonesia, all on sideband, Curacao on CW, Cayman Islands on CW. It's just been one long list of DX, which has been great fun. So I think the answer is take advantage of it, everybody, while we can, using whatever mode is open to you. A couple of interesting bits. I got an email from Ben Lloyd, who is a member of the RSGB board, if you remember, a GW4BML, who was the organizer and person behind the SOTA event they had in Wales last year. A number of us went up under the auspices of Denbury Dale then to make contact with some of the guys in Wales, and we did indeed make a number of QSOs with them. He's dropped me a note today to inform me that the GW SOTA event is going to take place on Saturday the 14th of June between 10 a.m. and 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll see what we can rustle up with some volunteers to perhaps go up a SOTA summit, and let's see if we can support them with some summit to summit QSOs. And Jeff, I dropped a note to Adriana. Your comment earlier about unable to see her video because it was posted on Facebook applies obviously to quite a few people So I said to Adriana, could we post that on the YouTube channel? And she said, yes, that sounds like a good idea. So she sent that to me, and we'll get that posted up onto the YouTube channel tomorrow. So that'll be good. And I have to say, I didn't give the report. I think we topped the league here, which is incredible for this part of the world. In my back garden today, we reached the sunny heights of 19 degrees, which was quite amazing. Of course, that was not the air temperature. We've still got a reasonably chilly wind up here, I have to say. So although the wind is supposed to be coming from the south all over the UK, there is obviously still a northern wind coming down, being drawn in here, which does bring the temperature a bit when you are walking outside, but still exceptionally nice. And I was very pleased yesterday to get out onto the Pennine Bridleway and make a number of contacts on 20 meters and 40 meters, all on single sideband. It was a great day, and great few hours in the afternoon. I only gave up when the sun started to drop down and the wind came up, and it was definitely getting chilly, even though I had a number of layers on. But if that's what we've got to look forward to, some more portable operating, then that's good news for me. I only made contact yesterday using the club call sign with two club members. One was Ken, of course, G4 VZV, and the other was John, G3 SAO, who was listening at home on 20 meters and heard what he said was an absolutely gigantic signal coming through. And it was me talking to him from about 2 miles down the road, I guess, where he lives at the bottom of the hill here in this part of the world. So back to you, Jeff. M0, AUG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO, Group M0AG. Yes, thanks for organising that with Adriana for the item that was on the Facebook there. So I don't do Facebook at all, and never will do. But WhatsApp I'm getting quite used to now, so there we are. So thanks very much indeed for that. And yes, I did see on the right away yesterday, but unfortunately I got too many other things going on to be able to give it a try. And earlier on this evening before the net started, in fact I was getting a very good reception from Bob down in the Falklands. And he then, as the conditions started to come up, he decided to go for a short break. And when the break was over, the signal had gone. So that would have been on my little antenna. But I was prepared to give it a go. He was working on the G stations at the time. So let's try again for that one. Right, over to Denmark now, and Oscar Zulu 1 Julie Q Uniform M0AG. Over to you, Fraser.
Okay, thanks very much indeed. Interesting from a group and other people that have commented on various things, and it all seems to be very, very busy. And WhatsApp is going berserk half the day nowadays with fairly long bits and pieces. Rachel seems to try to do various things as well today, but doesn't seem to happen, I don't think. HF has been pretty good after the solar flare decided to disappear. And I've worked from 40 to 10 USA and South America as well. So, but on and off, because my project has been this, as I said earlier, this greenhouse, and that's been pretty horrendous to decipher the diagram. It's worse. IKEA now is easier than the diagram, basically. So they've got their hat on, and the company I bought this greenhouse off hasn't. Very difficult indeed. And also, we made a little error in the base of the greenhouse, where we set it in cement, because it's got to be set in cement so it doesn't fly away. Anyway, that's just by and by, and had a low area, so I've had to jig that around. Maybe, Jeff, you don't do Facebook, you can lock it down to nothing. I do, and all I see is just what I want to see, and nobody else knows I'm there either. So you can do it if you really want to. Other than that, really, it's as I said, it's been outside greenhouse in frost and wind, and today lovely sunshine. We've had 3 days of lovely sunshine up here, but it was very windy yesterday. And I look as though I've been in the Mediterranean for about 3 weeks. It looks, I'm brown as a bunny in the face and the hands. That's it. The rest is snowy white as normal. Okay, this will be my final because I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning because we've had guests, bed and breakfast guests, and they wanted to go early. So I have to make the breakfast a bit early. So I'll be off to bed very shortly. So I'll be listening at a distance, but don't call us back, Jeff. Many thanks indeed for the group this evening, and good to hear you, Bob, as well. And maybe see you next week. Back to you, Jeff.
JK, group M0AUJ. Thanks for your contribution as usual there, Fraser, to the group, and it's always good to have you on, and noted that you don't want to be called in next time around, so I'm marking you on the list there. In total, I was 14 on the net this evening, and I don't know how many we've got on the YouTube channel, and obviously they can let me know on the next one perhaps, but it's a nice little group in actual fact. If we start to get more than 14 or 15, it becomes rather a large group to go on with. There we are. Well, it's a nice number to this evening. Over to you there, Bob, before it's Alpha Tango in the group, M0AUG.
Zero AUG in the group, November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango. My POTA, I've slowed down my POTA a bit, but as of noon today, that's Zulu time at noon, I had 2,101 parks. I'm now 1,231 on a list of 35,905 hunters. So I guess I can't complain, but I say right around the same area, right around 2.6% in the top part of it. This morning there was a VP5 photo one, and I heard him. It was an Oregon working mobile from a VP5. I heard him and I called several times, but I just didn't have enough power to get through to him. I would have liked to get through to him. I'm still stuck at 19 DX countries and of course the US. So I have 20 countries still. I still don't have Alaska or Hawaii. So I guess I'll have to come to the UK to work Alaska and Hawaii. Not much else new. I did download a picture for today, and it's from Amberley, and it really is. I don't know how it's going to come out because it was very dark to begin with, but I figured I'd try it. I'm experimenting with all of this stuff still to see what kind of results I get out of it, and I'll probably send this at a better quality just because the picture is so bad. Thank you for running the net, Jeff. In case we don't have another go around, M0AUG with the group, November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango.
Alpha Tango in the group, M0AUG returning. Yeah, we'll try and get another round in when we finish the ones here, Bob, and then we'll look forward to seeing you photograph at the end there. The Oldham Club, which I have Rob and Peter as well, and they're getting very, very interested in getting something going within the local club there for Porter, both from the Sofa as well. One of the new members on the committee there is quite active in that direction, and I've no doubt that we'll probably be doing some work together with Pennine Ham because the clubs are so close together. Right, catch up with you later on that, Bob. And what we'll do as usual is bring you guys with the pictures at the end. But we'll finish this round first of all. Oscar November 8 November Tango in the group, M0AUG.
My zero AUG and the group from ONA November Tango here. First of all, congrats to Louis and to Mike for their nice DX contacts, very nice contacts indeed there. And that's very good news. And okay for putting the video from Adriana on our YouTube channel, because I don't have high Facebook either, so that's a very good idea to put it on our club YouTube system. Some radio news more. Tuesday and Wednesday evening, I tried to participate in the 23 centimeter UPAC contest, UK activity contest, and then on Wednesday on the FT8 contest, and conditions were very bad. I managed to work at CW on Tuesday, Washington, the UK, which was 03 X-ray Delta Yankee and near Ipswich, and that was the only station that I could manage to work. I was in CW and he was answering me in Sugosana because it was really difficult. And then on Wednesday, no contacts at all, although I was spotted by Golf 4 Bravo Alpha Oscar and Juliet Oscar 02. So conditions not good at all. And then some indifferent, I discovered here that there are 14 FM analog repeaters linked together with something that I didn't know, which is the Sierra Victor X-ray link system. I really didn't know about it. Quite interesting. I have been listening to that for quite some time. And there is a Sierra Victor X-ray link hotspot. So I ordered that today. Because I really want to experiment, because you cannot only do linked FM repeaters, but you can also do echo link with that. And you can also do DMR, it seems. So, and this hotspot is about 500 milliwatts, which is quite good if you put that with external antenna. And has been constructed that the necessary filters are included in the hotspot. So that might be interesting to just play around here when I walk around and have some QSOs on our repeat system or on Echolink or whatever. So that's quite interesting, I think. Yeah, also the balloons. I really enjoyed decoding yesterday the balloon on 70 centimeter, an amateur radio balloon. Those balloons are only 10 milliwatts, so I was surprised to decode the Dutch balloon, which was somewhere in the north of the Netherlands to the German border, so it must be something like 350 kilometers. So very interesting. And then I discovered that special link system. Actually, it's not a program, it's something which is running on your web browser to see and to decode all the telemetry and to see on the map where they are and so on. And really fascinating. And very happy to work also yesterday evening or the evening before. Ken G4 Victor Zulu Victor, he was 5-9 plus. And you, Nick, you were down in the noise. Sorry about that, but Ken was very strong and you were really in the noise, so that's very strange. But on the other hand, at a certain moment, there was a mobile station in Barnsley, I think, and I could copy that station 535 or something like that. So, yeah, I think it's maybe a question of power, and it's probably also a question of polarization, the right polarization. This Friday evening, I go to my local club. There is a presentation and a demonstration of one of our members who constructed a QO100 portable station with a dish of 30 centimeters. So I really wanted to see that and to have that presentation. And if I'm able to get some pictures or so, I will post them on the WhatsApp group, because I'm sure some people might be interested in that. So really interested in that. And then he has the same person as a second presentation, which is 20 years of digital modes on VHF, UHF, that's DMR, DStar, and so on, because he has a little bit been the pioneer in Belgium and maybe in Europe about all these digital mode. So also interesting to her to hear how that develops. So that's my thing. I have a picture about space. I have a picture about the Voyager, which is already more than 50 years into space. And yeah, I think it's a nice picture to do something else than lighthouses, maybe something from space now. I zero aim with it. I'm the same.
Thanks for all that, Jeff. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing that picture as well. We'll try and just clear the rest of this round first of all, and then we'll go down the next list in a slightly different order for doing the finals with the pictures at the end, as we usually do. So over to you there, Peter. M0 PBF in the group, 0 AUG. Lots of interest tonight, Peter.
M0 AUG, M0 PBF. Yes, very good indeed. You see, well, my project is because the new car's got a panoramic glass roof, which is always good for a mount antenna. I'm only myself a tripod system. Okay. Well, I got a Diamond, what is it, SG7 7900 for 2 meters and 70 cents. That works beautiful. This thing sort of extends to just over 2 meters on the tripod, and so that works fine. That's no problem at all. I've also got a rather cheap 40 meter whip, and I've been trying that with the RP radio, the Zylu 6100, and that is absolutely hopeless. I'm going to try and put it didn't have any counterpoise on it, which is possibly one reason why it wasn't very good. So I'm going to try that. But if any members have got a recommendation for a decent 40 meter vertical mobile aerial, I would be very interested in that. So there we are. So back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG, M0 PBF.
M0 PBF. And the group M0 AUG returning as part of that, Peter. I'm sure there must be somebody amongst the scattered gang who can help you on that one. And yeah, that's the problem with the naked car that you've got with the sun glass roof, isn't it? I know my wife's got one of those, and that's the same issue. It's nice, but not amateur radio friendly. Well, over to you there, Keith. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AG.
M0AG, GM4JKZ. Okay, Jeff, thanks. Before I forget, Japanese amateurs, certainly they could be interested to get up early morning to listen to how they approach the hobby over there, for sure. And just going back to the 897, one of the things I miss from the 3000 is the visual indication on screen of the contour, notch width, and shift options. So I can't wait to get it back. It's probably one of the reasons I've not done much radio over the last couple of weeks. It's an extension of my body, basically, and it's missing. But on the 897, I found a document which someone has put a pack of lipo cells in homemade packs. There is sufficient space looking at the photographs to install the digital interface board as well. So that's one of the thoughts I've got mulling over in my head at the moment to modify or to add to the radio, should I say. Adriana, the YouTube lockdown rules, yes, I did start following that when it first came out. What I've actually done is I've downloaded them all and I've got them all held on my PC in a file. And thank you for reminding me. I'd forgotten all about those, so I shall certainly go and have a look at those again. And looking at life membership for the LICW group, nearly
equates to 3 years worth of annual membership. So it looks a worthwhile option, but for me, not quite at the moment. Too many other things cropping up to draw on the funds at the moment. 2 other points. Jeff, 30 centimetre dish portable. That sounds interesting. The QO100. Certainly like to hear a bit more about that once you've been to the presentation. And yes, I've got a picture to come. Sorry, it's a lighthouse, but you might like this one. It's the last one in my series anyway, but I won't spoil the thunder. So with that, back to you there, Jeff. M0AUG with the group GM4JKZ. GM4JKZ with the group M0AUG. Yes, fine on that. Thank you. And we look forward to the presentation when we finish this round and go through the next. The list is a bit complicated tonight with people logging in and logging back out again, etc. So we'll try Dave down into now. I know you've probably been listening this evening, Jeff. Are you able to come back? Sorry, Dave. Are you able to come back to us? B6 in the group. M0AUG. Nothing from Dave. I think he's probably been trying to sort out why he can't transmit or whatever the problem was there. But I hope he sorts it out by next week. But thank you for joining us anyway, Dave. And over to you for your final with M0OGR in the group. And if you want to make this your final, please. M0AG. So we'll go back to the top of the list for those who aren't doing photographs, and we'll take your finals, please. And then we'll split the list up as we normally do. So over to you, Lou, for your final, please. G8K in the group, M0AG. Hope you've enjoyed the evening.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. M0AUG and the group G8KJJ. I've got nothing more to say, but it's been very enjoyable. Thank you to everyone for their input and their interest. It's been a good net. Anyway, I'll say 7 threes to everyone, and hopefully coming week is as good as it's been this last week. I doubt if the weather will be, though. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG and the group G8KJJ.
G8KJJ, the group M0AG returning. So thank you for joining us this evening. We would appreciate your company. You're one of the regulars now in the group, and thank you very much for your support there. So we'll go to Northern Germany. Your files, please, Mike. DL1BJW with DL8BDT, M0AG.
DL1BJW was the final. Yes, first of all, thank you very much for hosting the net. Jeff, excellent. And thank you to all of you for your many and very interesting thoughts and ideas. One always takes something home again. Well, I am at home, so it's only a figure of speech, but nevertheless, thank you for that. And congrats to Bob and for XAT for his further good results in POTA. It's always awesome. And also congrats to Jeff on 8 November Tango to the RTGY results and the FDA contacts into VK and ZL. And Jeff, I would be very interested in any information about this Q100 evening you were mentioning. If you can do some informations and put it on the WhatsApp group, for example, that would be most welcome and very interesting, especially as the diameter of the reflector is only 35 centimeters, which is really, really small. That would be very interesting. So thank you again. Wishing you all a very good weekend coming up and a very good week following. And wishing you all very good time and good results. 73 strong. Delta Lima Bravo Juliet Whiskey, passing the microphone for our final to D-Main BDT.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Yes, thank you very much for this interesting evening. It was a great pleasure as always. And yes, Andrew, very good that Hans sent you the new QCX, and I hope that this will work fine and you will have much pleasure with it. Very, very good. And yes, Bob, congrats to your contact. I think it's quite amazing how many contacts you get. I can't imagine how you manage this. Very, very good. So 73 and 88 to all of you. I hope to meet you soon down the log, and wish you all the best for the weekend. I have the microphone back to M0 AUG for the group.
DL8 BGT with DL1 BJW in the group, M0 AUG returning. Thanks both of you always for being regular members of this group and valued contributors as well. And I hope all is well with you both. And we'll look forward to catching up with you next week. So over to your finals there, Andrew. M0 ROL in the group, M0 AUG.
Yeah, AUG the group, M0RL. Well, thanks for running the net tonight, Jeff. Quite a busy one tonight. I'll try and touch base with Dave tomorrow to see what's wrong. I guess that's be another radio that will be selling because it doesn't work. But I'm very high, and I'll see if he's okay. And yes, be interesting next night. I think that the with lockdown rules that Adriana mentioned, and also the reminded me about Long Island CW Club. I think I need to start getting my act together and learn this elusive ski. Great for Silver. I wouldn't mind taking part in Silver activities. I think in June, as you know, the closest soda activation summit from here is probably 10 minutes away, 15 minutes if I take my time. So I'm pretty close. And there's 3 within such a very short drive. So yes, I'll look forward to that. In the meantime, I wish everyone a good week. Hope you enjoy your radio and catch up next week. And 73, back to you, Jeff M0 AUG in the group, just M0 ROL.
M0 ROL in the group, M0 AUG returning. Yeah, if you can help with, I don't know what his problem is. It's been perfectly alright, so we can, please been absent for a week or 2. So I don't know whether something's been going on, recording changes, direction or whatever, but if you can help him to get back on doing this, will be good. Thanks for your interest and support this evening, Andrew. Hopefully, we'll look forward to catching up with you next week. So, before we start the pictures and also with Nick as well, we'll go to you, Peter, for your finals, please. M0 BBF in the group, M0 AUG.
M0 AUG, M0 PBF. Well, thank you for running that, Jeff. I guess on Sunday morning, Dave will be running the Oldham on XLX305D. But I'll check with him tomorrow. But Beryl, when I spoke to him last evening, Beryl seemed to be making good progress. So there we are. So thank you everybody for your company and your conversation, and 73 Swap. M0 AUG, M0 PBF.
PPF in the group M0AG returning. Yes, madam, I'm Peter, and obviously we were away this weekend, so I had to decline from Dave's request to start the net off. I will hope to get on the net at some time during Sunday. It depends on meal times and things for the hotel, so take it from there. Thanks for joining us this evening, Peter, and we'll catch up with you soon. Right, before we go into the pictures, we'll go over to Nick for your wrap-up and finals there, Nick. I don't know who's been on YouTube tonight, so perhaps you can tell us if anybody or whoever. G4IWO in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yes, unfortunately, Jeff, on YouTube, we only know who's there watching and listening if they type their call sign and any comments into the chat box, and no one has tonight. So, but we've had people popping in and out all night long. No one, I don't think, has stayed for the whole of the net, but people have listened for some of it and obviously gone off doing other things. What is interesting, though, is that last week was quite similar. So not very many people contributing live on the chat on YouTube, and not many staying throughout the whole event. But it was viewed by 58 different people during the week. So people are picking it up and having a listen and having a look. And that in itself, I think, is quite interesting and tells me that it's definitely worth doing. Going back to 40-meter operations, when I went on 40 meters yesterday, I was using the 10-meter telescopic whip with the coil at the bottom and just a 4 short radials, or shortish radials, just a few meters long each one. My first call back was from Devon, from Holsworthy, G0RQL, who said I was a very strong signal, 5 and 7. And then the second station to call me back was Frankfurt, who gave me 5 and 8, said I was a good signal. And then Ken was struggling to pick me out of the noise, but I worked the Barnsley station, who was on 40 meters as well yesterday. He was quite strong. We gave each other 5 and 7. So it's interesting. It's obviously to do with propagation and the vertical whip that I do tend to do better over slightly longer distances. But I think I came to the conclusion yesterday that if I want to have a crack at 40 meters just exclusively for a bit, I probably need to take a dipole with me for 40 and put it on the, support it as a V dipole up a short pole, because I think I'll get better results with a horizontal antenna rather than the vertical one. On the 20-meter operation I did yesterday, I worked Poland, Spain, Italy, worked into the UK as well, a portable station in the UK, France, Finland. So, you know, a reasonable spread of stations, but no DX on 20. But I was very happy to have those QSOs yesterday. It was good fun. And I'm a shocking operator for anyone who listens to me on running parks on the air, or even summits on the air. I end up chatting to people. And of course, that's there's nothing wrong with chatting to people. But obviously, if you've got stations waiting to make a call to get you in the log themselves, they're probably getting slightly frustrated. So I had a bit of a chat with John, G3SAO, yesterday, and there were probably 1 or 2 frustrated people who vanished. So yeah, looking very much forward to Hiroki's contribution next week. Very nice guy. He's lives out in the States, in the southern part of California. Moved there from Japan quite a few years ago, and he's got quite a story to tell. So I'm looking forward to that. Coming up, we've got a number of people. Gavin, one of our new members, G5 UHF, is actually out in Lanzarote at the moment, hiking across Lanzarote with running some kite antennas. Now, he's not given me any details of his operation there, so I presume he's been, you know, signing EA8/G5 UHF. but he has promised to come back when he gets back from Lanzarote, I think this week, end of this week, to come and give us a talk on using kite antennas, and he's going to take plenty of photographs when he's out there running the operation there. So that'll be quite interesting. We've never had a speaker on kite antennas, which will be a good one. So, been a great net, as everyone said. Lovely to hear everyone this evening, and look forward to seeing you all at the club meeting next Wednesday evening, if you're able to come. 73s, everyone, and 73s to those who have been listening tonight on YouTube, or those who are watching this on YouTube sometime during the week after the net went out. Back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group, G4IWO.
You're in the group M0 AUG here returning. Yeah, a few dropouts at the beginning there, Nick, but we got everything. It's you never know. I think it's the internet that's blamed for most of these things, but nothing that spoils it. I think if he's out in Lanzarote, I don't know if he's got any chance of making contact with Laura. She's still out, but I don't know how long Laura's staying out there. So yeah, it's been a good night this evening. I think Nick fought it in the count. Not everybody stayed for the full shift, but there were 14 who actually called in at some stage. So what we're going to do is there are 3 of the members who usually send pictures through. So we're going to start off with Bob, and then we'll go to Keith, and then we'll go to Jeff in Belgium. So over to you for the final, Bob, and also your picture as well, please. And thanks for joining the net this evening. N4XAT in the group.
0 AUG group, November 4 X-Ray Alpha Tango. Well, first of all, it's been almost a spring day here. It's still 20 degrees here, but now it's starting to cloud up, and we do expect rain this evening. But then, you know, we're almost to April, and they say the April showers, so we have to expect a bit of rain down high. The picture that I'm going to send, I'm going to send it at 75% because it isn't really a good picture as far as the quality of it goes. And I want to see if 75% does make a difference. And thank you, Jeff, for running the net. I certainly appreciate it. And I look forward to next Wednesday's presentation also. Stand by, and I'll send the picture in just a second.
XAT in the group M0 AUG. Only one out with me about line 5 from the bottom there. There was only one block. Interesting picture there, Bob. Thanks very much to you.
Thank you, Jeff. That was barely. I can't tell you what year it was, but I certainly enjoy that museum. That is one of the nicest museums that I've been to over there. Back to you, Jeff. M0UG and 4X8D. I'll stand by.
And 4X8D M0AG. Good to notice that your QSL card was on the wall there, Bob. Okay, I'll pass it over to Keith and then to Jeff for their comments. Thanks again, Bob. Catch you next week. From GM4JK, 100% Bob. Yeah, very nice picture there. And Amberley, yes, I didn't live too far away from it many years ago. And as you say, it's a nice museum. From GM4JKZ.
Perfect picture also on my side, Bob. 100% copy. Very nice picture.
Thanks to you, and thanks again, Bob, and look forward to catching up with you next week. Over to you, for your final and picture as well, Keith. GM4JKZ in the group, M08. From GM4JKZ, yeah, fine there, and this is my last house I hosted tonight. And just a couple of things I forgot to mention. Bob, congratulations, 29 more stations in the logbook from last week, and one for you there, Jeff. The info on Iroquois talk next week isn't quite on the home page at the moment. It's still got Steve's information on there, but it's one picture on its way. I've got a technical problem here. Can we do Jess first while I try and sort this one out? Yeah, that keep no problem at all. Over to you, Jeff. I'm the next November Tango M0AG.
Yeah, okay. Well, I will do my best Friday evening to take some pictures from that portable QO100 setup. I think he told that it was all things from the shop. So he all bought things from the shop and he just put it together. So quite interested to see what it is. I know in our local club here they have the policy that they put things online, that they put the presentation, the PDFs of a presentation and so on, or the PPTs for the presentation online. So maybe I can see if I could forward that or translate a little bit. That's something that I will try. Okay, though, the picture is from the Voyager 1, which was launched in 1977, and which seems to be still alive. They even used the motors to give it a little bit another track. And also there is still radio communication, exchange of data and so on possible, so that's unbelievable that not all technology or that technology is still working. So yeah, a picture from the Voyager 1, here it comes, QX.
November Tango M0AG, nothing coming through, Jeff.
I hope that came true.
ON8N.
Sorry, Jeff, nothing at all. Back to you.
Okay, I will try again, QX.
depends on the signal. About 4 lines up, Jeff, and so we finished up with 2 black lines where I got it. But over to you, Keith.
Yeah, 100% with me, Jeff. And yeah, another 44,000 years, I think, before it leaves the proper solar system.
Thanks for that, Jeff. It's a good picture anyway. Yeah, brings back memories, doesn't it, when those things were going up in there. So thanks very much for that. Thanks for your contribution this evening, and we look forward to seeing some photographs from Friday evening, hopefully. Over to you, Keith, if you're ready to send your picture, please.